Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April the what?
26.
26, 2026, and we would like now to explain you how the European Airbus conquered the US American market.
So here is my question. Why was Airbus struggling in the 1970s to sell planes worldwide?
Well, that's easy answered because we were the beginners and we started only in 1972. The first flight of the first Airbus A300B was 1972 in Toulouse. And later we had a production line, but there were many aircraft which were unsold, and the market was covered by American manufacturers like Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, and Lockheed. These three companies together had 6,000 aircraft on the market, and we had zero.
So my second question is, which airline did Airbus target to break into the US market?
Well, that's a good question because even it is a very industrial business, it all has to do with people and with personnel. So my colleagues in Toulouse, the sales department in Toulouse, they looked for a famous CEO and they looked for the big American airline. So the combination was Eastern Airlines, which is flying or was flying from New York to Miami, was the second biggest airline of the world at that time. And the CEO was a former astronaut from the NASA, Mr. Frank Borman. So
What?
after he was
Yeah.
NASA astronaut, he became CEO of Eastern Airlines, headquarter Miami.
What deal did Airbus offer Eastern Airlines?
Well, they had not many chances, so they had to make an offer which he couldn't really reject. And the offer was to get 4 aircraft, A300B4, for a trial period for 6 months, for $1 each. So they came in, they had an appointment with Mr. Bowman in Miami. They came into this office, they had the contract only on one page. And he said, you can get 4 Airbuses from us for $1 when you sign here, but you must sign today. Don't ask anybody, don't ask your board of directors or whoever. This offer we will not repeat, it's only a once in a lifetime. So they came back in the afternoon and he signed.
Did you personally experience it?
Yes, I took the opportunity to be there, and I even met Mr. Bowman, who was at that time the CEO of Eastern Airlines, and we gave him a present. Yeah, that's me there on the left-hand side, this smart guy. We gave him a present with the Airbus engine. Mr. Bowman is the one in the middle, the one with a bald head, next to the Hamburg group, which I organized for them a trip to Miami.
How did the planes perform during the trial period?
Well, they performed very well because Eastern had the opportunity to use their old Lockheed, Boeing, and Lockheed McDonnell Douglas airplane, and they were flying side by side. Let's say every 15 minutes, one Boeing, one Airbus, one Lockheed, one McDonnell. So they had all the figures, and the good thing was my own colleagues from Hamburg were also there on site, and they could help their US American colleagues on the workshop, on the floor level. The Germans were not allowed to touch anything, but they could give an advice to the American colleague. I would rather change this receiver, or I would better look in this toilet door, or whatever. And therefore, they had a very good performance.
What was the outcome of the experiment?
Well, the outcome was that after this, or even before this half-year trial period was ending, Mr. Bowman himself, or his company now, ordered 23 Airbus A320. Oh, sorry, Airbus A300B before, and that was a good signal for the rest of the world because everybody was, of course, waiting for this result.
Looking back, how significant was this moment for Airbus?
Well, it was a great moment because we can here see the whole thing in one page. This photo actually is a very famous photo for the century. It was called Earthrise because it was done by Mr. Bormann. Here is Frank Bormann as a NASA, that's his name tag here, as a NASA Apollo 8 commander. That is Saturn rocket starting from Cape Kennedy. Here was a little module with 4 people inside. No, 3 people inside. And this was in December 1968 when this photo was taken. And that was very famous for the century. Later he ordered these 4 Airbuses on a lease project. The but was we had to provide all the interior and all the insides with the equipment, the laboratories and the radar equipment and communication equipment. Everything had to be provided according to Eastern standard. This photo I took myself, that is in New York. That is a reporter from the Hamburger Abendblatt, our newspaper, Michael Schwer, and we were looking here to the Airbus before we flew with this aircraft from New York to Miami. And here is the final situation at the headquarters of Eastern Airlines. This is a building. That's Mr. Bormann here. This is a group from Hamburg who have won this flight. And that's myself here with my very famous beard of the 1990s. And that is now the Eastern Airlines Airbus after being retrofitted in Germany. And after that, the whole breakthrough was achieved for the Airbus company. And now here, this is a livery of A300. Now we have the same color here on our A320. This is the same color which was designed by Knut Marsen, the chief graphic designer of Airbus Industry. Here is another photo from our hall. That's hall 14 in Hamburg. And here you see the management of Airbus, Mr. Bormann. And this is Gerd Hengsbach, who also provided some of those pictures. He was my former boss at that time. And I have still contact with Mr. Hengsbach even today via WhatsApp.
What can others learn from Airbus story? Can people in the startups or individuals achieve something similar?
Yes, sure. Everybody can learn from the story because it's not. This story is not only about aircraft. This story is about persistence, about the will to achieve something, and about having good ideas to come out of a situation where you may not see the light and where you don't know what to do. Because we had these aircraft ready, even 12, not only 4, 12 aircraft were ready and sitting there. And later we sold them to India and to Thailand and even to the Philippines after a while. But if this breakthrough with Mr. Bormann and Eastern Airlines would not happen, nobody would speak about Airbus nowadays. And the good thing is we have a sales figure of more than 25,000 aircraft have now been sold after all these stories. Of those, there were nearly 17,000 delivered, and this type is a A320. This type, A320, Airbus has delivered alone 13,000 and a little bit more. And all those aircraft, Airbus A320, A321, which you see here flying in Asia, they are made in Hamburg, which is my hometown, and I was working for this company 23 years of my life.
So that means the message is timeless.
Yes, the message is timeless, and I would like to explain the story that other people can learn from it and make their own example based on this experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye bye.